Well, I made it to the store and I made it back home. They weren't around. Uh, None of them was. There must be a lot more crime happening all over the place, and they're not reporting it. Because, I mean, out here where I live, outside of town in a little bitty town, there used to be 3 sheriff's patrol cars out here. Now there's only 1. So they're really split up. Either they've lost some or there's just one. They have to be now everywhere because of the speeding and all this other stuff. But mainly, I think because their crime has gone up and they're not reporting it. I really hope that the people in Ohio can actually pass in a law pass a law to end their qualified immunity. When they end all of them's qualified immunity, the judges, the prosecutors, the attorneys, all of them, the cops, sheriffs, state troopers, a whole bunch of them will quit because they won't be able to do the job they've been doing, stealing money, taking people's vehicles without a warrant, seizing people, arresting them without a warrant right there provided to say, I have a warrant to arrest you. Circumventing our rights and making up stuff, lying on their paperwork about why they arrested someone and all this other stuff, or why they ended up shooting someone that they killed, because then the person they killed, they got no way to defend him or herself and say, no, it happened this way. And I can't wait. If it gets, third time's a charm. They tried it twice. They got shut down twice. And so it's the third time. And they're going to keep trying. It can be passed in any state. If it gets passed in one state, then it works in all states. All states has to recognize all the laws of each and every state. And if one is says that another state's law, can't do what this one says that those in that state can't do, well, they can't do it anymore. It nullifies all this crap. And I can't wait. A bunch of them going to be quitting. A whole bunch. And then they ain't going to have their police the public and keep everybody in line as slaves anymore. The UCC will fall apart. All of it, speeding, all that stuff will fall apart without police. I can't wait. We're about to be completely free if that passes. So we'll be able to easily sue these cops, sue all these terrorists, these, predators that go out on the road looking for people to bother and arrest and make money off of. U.S. Supreme Court stated plain and clear, they are not required to protect the public. So what they're doing, they're not protecting the public. You all think that they're there to protect the public and be there to get these people who you say are sovereign citizens but are not. We can't be sovereign citizens if we can't just already be above the laws. You can only claim us as a wannabe. Wannabe like the cops. Wannabe like the politicians. Wannabe like the presidents. The presidents are above the law. The president's families and friends are above the law. They can pardon them. That's what a sovereign citizen is. Someone that's above the law. Hunter is above the law. He's not going to get in trouble for Even the stuff he did with, supposedly did with his niece, I believe, from what I've heard. From what I heard, him sitting naked in his bed doing dope with his young niece right by him. And they let those pictures and everything. Maybe it was AI. Maybe it was all fake just to be a distraction. Seeing all these videos you can pull up on YouTube of Biden sitting there touching little girls, kissing little boys, trying to kiss little girls. And saying, yeah, I'd date you and all this stuff. Like they said, Trump said about his daughter or someone, yeah, if you was 18, I'd date you. Well, then, yeah, he's looking at her in a sexual manner, in a manner that he would date her at how pretty she looks at a young age if she was at an older age. It's not wrong. Lots of people used to go around, men and women, oh, your daughter's real pretty. It wasn't seen as sexual or nothing. People just, oh, thank you. I love my kids are seen as pretty. And government and media and movies, they use all of that, TV, to make people think other things. To get people to hate each other and just be mean to each other and make stuff up and assume stuff. So then nobody talks to each other no more. Nobody becomes friends. We're not living in peace. We're living in chaos. I'm going to hate you because you said this and you said that and you're for this and you're for that. Oh, you're not for what I'm for. Why do you want to force someone to live how you want them to live? That's what a psychopath does. I want you to live how I live. I hope you get in trouble. You're going to live my way. You know, you have kids and you get them to live your way. That's who you have control over. To teach and train to live the way you want them to live when they grow up. But then lots of kids grow up, become 18, and they do their own thing. They don't do all the things that they were growing up, taught about while they were growing up, taught to do, taught how to live. They start living differently because they get to know other people. Become friends with other people, live different. And, well, I like the way this one lives. I like the way this one does this and that. And I didn't get to, and I can now I'm grown up. People don't want to look at how the real world works. They all live in this fantasy world that, I can raise my kids this way and they'll be this way. No. Because there's other people that's different that they learn from when you let them out in the world as kids to learn to be those other ways that they just like what they see and says, yeah, I want to act like that. I want to be like that. I want to do this and that. But that's all police and government and TV is for, is to get you to live somebody else's way, to act somebody else's way. It's not how the world's supposed to work. I act my way. I live my way. I believe what I want to believe. And the truth is all right there in your face when you read their U.S. codes, their CFRs, Code of Federal Resources. That's what CFR is, Code of Federal Resources. And then you have the United States codes, the USC. Then you have their statutes. You read them. It'll tell you plain and clear. Unless you work for the government or the state, you're not to have a driver's license. Unless you're doing business and you're trading and you're buying stuff through the seas, you're doing business with other businesses, and then making money and transporting stuff. Yeah, you got to have a driver license to do that. Go from state to state doing business. From the seaport with another country, but Americans can't do business with other countries. Only the government can. They can do business with other countries, bring their stuff here and take their, our stuff that we make and whatever over there, But we can't individually, with our own business, go to China and say, I want to do business with your business. We can't do that. That's slavery. That's oppression. Only the government can, so they can make money. They can create tariffs to make extra money, taxes. See, if we did that, they couldn't really tax us, create tariffs. They could only tax what we buy. Or what we sell, I mean. They can only tax what we sell to the other. And, tax what we have and we tax it. And then with that tax, we sell it to them at that price. The price of the product with the tax added. They do the same thing. They add their tax that they have on the products, from their government. And we pay all of that, the item and the tax. And then we charge the people. But then we charge the people that same amount of tax because it's not on each of the products. It's on the whole amount. And then it's one tax. And so then they charge us tax individually on each product, an actual full price tax of what they pay for over there. That's wrong. It has to be split. So that way the prices are lower. But, U.S. Supreme Court states plain and clear. The Fifth Amendment, it's in the Fifth Amendment. We have the right to travel. We have the right to do all of this stuff. It's in there, Article 4. Look up Article 4 and read all the sections and clauses, and you'll find out. But y'all don't want to. It's Cornell Institute, LII. You can look up the Cornell Institute to look up all their U.S. codes on traveling. All the U.S. codes on what a United States citizen is. All their U.S. codes on registration and title. Commercial business. It's in their U.S. codes and their CFRs, and same thing with what a person is. You go to AI where you can ask AI either vocally or type it in. Ask AI, what are the different the 25 different definitions of a person in the U.S. codes. And then do the same thing with the CFRs. What is the 25 definitions of a person in the CFRs, Code of Federal, I guess it's Code of Federal Regulations. That's what it is, Code of Federal Regulations. So you have the United States codes of what a person is. You have the Code of Federal Regulations of what a person is. You have Black's Law Dictionary that defines what a person is according to the United States government, the UCC. You can look in the UCC, what is a person in the UCC. Educate yourself. That's all you got to do. Question everything that they tell you. Don't believe any of it. And go research it. And then you go, okay, they was right about this, but they're wrong about all of this. They're lying to us. So they can keep us as slaves. Good, obedient slaves. They call you a law abider, but really you're just a good, obedient slave who obeys their master. They're not laws. Only Congress can create laws with the House of Representatives. And then the executive branch has to vote on them. And then the president has to say whether or not to help pass it into law. And then it goes back. If the president says yes or the president says no, veto, well, then it's shot down. None of these. The UCC was not passed into law by Congress, the executive branch, the House of Representatives, and the president. Neither was the Highway Safety Act. Did the president pass the Highway Safety Act into law? Did the president pass the UCC into law? Or type it in. Or ask AI. It'll tell you plain and simple. Does the legislative branch actually have the power to make laws and enforce them? Or to make and enforce laws? No. Congress makes the laws with the House of Representatives. The executive branch says yes on the law, well, that's good. If the president says yes and passes it, that's good. The executive branch is the one that enforces the laws, tells all these cops and sheriffs and the FBI and all them CIA to enforce them. But they're only to be enforced upon persons, not people. Not citizens, persons. Doesn't say the citizens of the United States is required to obey the laws that are created by Congress, and no, just persons. A person is a United States government employee, or a United States federal employee, or a state or a federal employee. The states are federal. They're federal corporations. The United States is a federal corporation. They're all together as a corporation. And they all work together in a contract because corporations go into contract with other corporations. People can't get in a contract with any corporation. You have to be a business, a corporation, to be able to be contracted to another, and then y'all both have agreements on your regulations and policies and whatever that you're both going to agree to follow. And do what's right by them. You can read all the stuff in there, but y'all are too lazy. You rather believe your masters and question them and do the research. You're too lazy. Until you do that, you spend months, 6 months, reading all that stuff if it takes that long, and learning it and writing down, well, I was told this, but this says something else, and write it down, whatever. Or if you're reading it on the internet, copy, paste it, put it on a piece of paper, and print it out. Then you'll have it right there, and then you can go to them and say, no, this says that I don't have to do this. I don't have to have this. And we can end it. They need you to be poorly educated on the way the system actually works on their U.S. codes and their CFRs and their statutes and their doctrines. If you ain't learning that stuff and they're not teaching it to the kids in schools, well, you don't know the truth. You're just believing what you hear just at face value. Okay, I believe you. You're the authority. Like your parents. I'm your parents and you just believe me. I'm the authority. You just believe me. Well, the authority is actually your parents. If they're treating you the same way as your parents do. They're your parents. You're grown-up children to a Uncle Sam. Big brother. Big brother. You obey your big brother. He's older than you. He knows more than you. You listen to the older people. Or persons. That's how they get you. Just believe and don't question, or you'll be punished. You'll be punished if you question me. You just believe what I say, and that's the way it is. Ain't that the way it was with your parents? It's the same thing with authority. It ain't no different. Just called authority. Just called police, sheriffs, troopers, FBI, CIA, government, politicians. None of it says that there are guardians. There's nothing in the constitutions, any of the constitution says there are guardians and we're to obey them. They're supposed to obey we the people. The government was created by, for, and was created of, by, and for the people. It was created of the people, by the people, for the people, us, for us. We're not here for them. We're not here to obey them. They are to obey the people that created them. The Creator runs and controls and owns its creation. The creation don't. Your kids don't run and rule over you, do they? You created your child, they get old enough and they want to boss you around. What do you say? You ain't bossing me around. You're a little child. You're not a grown up and you're not, pretty much you're not my parent. I'm going to laugh at you and you're a little child. Quit acting like that. It's the same thing. The government is our child and we got our child running over us. Running all over us. Stepping on the back of our necks or, the front of our throats or whatever. Beating us, murdering us. It's not supposed to be that way. Until y'all read their stuff and learn it, none of y'all ain't going to make any difference in what I believe. None. I've done the research. I've watched people who've done the research, read all this stuff, and put it out there for us to see it. It ain't made up. It can't be made up. When it's straight out of the Cornell Law School, the LLI, or the LII, it's a law school. Cornell Law School teaches you about law, the U.S. codes and the CFRs and the statutes and the doctrines, all that stuff. The Magna Carta. There's another one. The Magna Carta and Posse Comitatus. Magna Carta is the law of the land. Look it up. Is the Magna Carta the law of the land? Or ask AI. It'll tell you plain and simple. The Magna Carta is the law of the land that all nations are to obey and enforce pretty much upon each other to protect the people. There are laws written that is there to protect the people from the governments, from your leaders. Are there laws to protect us from government? Ask AI, are there laws to protect the people from the government? It will tell you plain and simple. Even persons. States it in their CFRs and U.S. codes. What they can and cannot do to the persons. Learn it. Don't come at me with all your jargon that you learned without question from these so-called authority. Color of law don't give them any authority. They have assumption and presumption of authority. But they don't have authority. You assume they do. They want you to believe they do. But they don't have any authority. Color of law has no authority over common law. Ask AI, what's the difference between color of law and common law? It'll tell you. And then you'll find out the truth. You're all believing these jackboot thug pigs. And everything you believe, none of it's true. None of it. They lose all power when the people finds out. Everybody, enough people finds out. We've been lied to. Even the bootlickers. You've been lied to. They need you to be that way so they can stay in the position they're in. And then be like, yeah, force them to be like we were taught you're to be. Force them to believe that. Force them to believe what we believe. We want that. Be violent. Be mean. There's no peace in that. Aren't y'all for peace? Aren't y'all for safety for everybody? How am I safe if you're getting somebody else to come to me with guns to hurt me or violence to hurt me to make me be how you and they want me to be? And they taught you to want me to be and you to be. You're not a law abider, you're a slave. Until you learn that a man who has to sit there, look up what a slave is. Ask AI, what's a slave? What's slavery? What's involuntary servitude? It'll tell you. You're under involuntary servitude as a slave. You're under slavery. And until you realize it, you won't come out of it. Slaves is okay with just bowing down and obeying another man like other white men did who were enslaved and other black men did who were enslaved and whoever else that was enslaved. So, yeah. To be a slave is to be under the authority of another man or group of men. That's what slavery is. And you're under the authority of one or more men. Men. So you're a slave. You're under slavery. It's hard for me to go full 30 minutes. I don't think I have a video that's a full 30 minutes on this channel. I've had channels and I've gone a full 30 minutes. I one or two videos. But we're not obeying them. They're obeying us. By and for the people. They didn't create it to be of, by, and for them, the persons of the United States Federal Corporation, which they are employees. Person for personnel. Personnel is a group of people together. A person of a group of personnel is the one that's separate. And so you're a person of a group of personnels in a business. And so when they call you a person, you're a personnel of the United States Federal Corporation. You're one of the personnel. You're one of the persons. They say persons instead of personnel because they don't want you to put two and two together. They need you uneducated, poorly educated, so they can have power and enslave you. That's what you don't get. You can look up what was the all caps. Ask AI what was the all caps name and the Social Security created for, and it'll tell you. It'll tell you the truth. It's not going to tell a lie. It's going to tell you the opposite of what all these people are telling you. That you choose to believe that's the not be true. AI will tell you it all. But y'all don't want to be educated. You rather be poorly educated, dumbed down, and be a bunch of minions for a master. And vote in a master. Do what I want. I'll be here for you, and I'll do this for you, and I'll do that, and make you all feel good with everything they tell you that's good, that you like to hear. I know what to say, that they'll all be for me, and they'll vote for me. I know what the majority wants. The government knows what the majority of the voters want. And they're going to make sure, no matter who's put in, that they both work for the same team United States Federal Corporation. It's not a government, it's a corporation. Look it up. 28 U.S. Code 3002. United States means federal corporation. That's the definition. What's the definition of the United States? Ask AI, what's the definition of United States? It'll tell you, federal corporation. It's not what you think it is. It's there to make money. They make money off all these other countries. They make money off of us through the all caps name and the Social Security number. That's where your taxes goes, right into the Social Security. Or your, that's where your, not the taxes, the tax for Social Security. That's where that money goes, into the Social Security. But they put extra money into it too, that you know nothing about. And you can find out ways, because lots of people are learning it, especially black people, they're learning this, that you can actually spend that money. You just have to do it a different way. Look it up on YouTube. They're finding out about it all. They're waking up. And y'all are ignoring them and going after, which is mostly white people, fighting against the system, trying to get us all to be free. All of us. Black, white, Mexican, Asian, whatever. Everybody that's in this country, we're supposed to be free. We're not supposed to be serving any other man. We're supposed to be free. That's what a republic is. A democracy is anti-freedom. It's anti-republic. Look it up. What's the difference between a republic and a democracy? And it'll tell you. Look in the Constitution. Why is Republican and Democrat, the two-party system, those words, not in the Constitution? Because we're not supposed to have a two-party system. We're not supposed to be voting between Democrat and Republican. It's not in the Constitution. Not even in the state constitutions. It states plain and clear we're supposed to be ran under a republic. Doesn't state in there democracy. Doesn't state in there we vote under democracy. If the Constitution's a law of the land, that's all we're supposed to be going by. And nothing else. But we're going by something else. Democracy is color of law. Color of law is democracy. The republic is common law. So, you all take care. Bye.